Welcome to Just Minding My Business Media. We hope you are enjoying this day and finding personal as well as business fulfillment in your work. Today we have coming to the mic Ketrice Keys, who is a wife, mother, an empowerment speaker, certified life coach, licensed evangelist, and best-selling author. She is the founder of Ketrice Keys Enterprises, K Majestic Couture, an online clothing boutique, and Spitting Fire with Ketrice podcast. Ketrice empowers women to share their stories, thereby freeing themselves and others as well. We look forward to hearing about her work as an author and in her soon to be released Finally Free, where she is part of an anthology. Welcome so much, Mrs. Keys.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
I tried. I hope I didn't do too badly on it.
Hello, Miss Keys. How are you this day? You're looking beautiful.
Hi, how are you all? Good to see you.
Good to see
Glad
you
to be
too.
here. Glad to be here.
Yeah,
Thank you so
glad
much
to
for having
have
me.
you.
Oh,
Wow.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome. And don't worry about a thing. This is a conversation. So, conversations, people spill drinks, people get up and want coffee. So don't worry about it. You're just
Right,
with
right.
us, and we're glad to have you.
Yes, we are
Thank
so
you.
glad to have you. And I'd like to know how you got started on your journey.
Ooh. Now, I don't know if that's something, we only have an hour, so I don't know if you're going to be able to hear about all that. But I've been writing since I was a child. It was my way of escape, coming through a lot of childhood trauma. I would steal away into my room and I would read and write. I would write short stories and poetry and just whatever came to my mind, I would journal it. I would write all my thoughts down and never really even thinking that I would one day be an author. But that was just my way of release. That was just my way of coping with everything that was going on in my life at the time. So that's where my writing came in. And I've always been, how should I put it, outspoken. I've always been the one that if anybody was going to say anything, it was going to be me. I was in 4-H as a youngster, so I was trained up speaking and writing and doing all those type of things. But it came to a point in my life where a lot of things happened and I just withdrew within myself. I became introverted. And I stopped writing. I stopped reading. I just became withdrawn. And somewhere along the way, I think it was after maybe losing a baby. I had like 3 miscarriages, and that kind of sparked my writing again because there was no other way for me to, relinquish those feelings that I was having at the time. I didn't feel like I had anybody to talk to, so I started writing again. And it just culminated from there. And I met Dawn Leak in Gulfport in September of 2019 and signed on her as a coach, as a speaking coach, getting my story together, that type thing. And it was 2018. Yeah, 2018. And then from there, it's just snowballed into this. I've, been a part of one anthology, and I'm a part of this one entitled Finally Free, and getting ready to launch my own anthology, which will be a Christian anthology for women. And it's just all happening so fast. I really can't even, put it all into words.
I know. It's so magical. Once you start, the opportunities just keep rolling.
Right. Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about, just give us a sneak peek as to Finally Free. What will people have to look forward to from you?
Wow. Okay. So my chapter in Finally Free goes back to me tackling the biggest fear that I had in my life. The one thing that I said I would never, ever do. And it was take an airplane flight. That literally scared me out of my mind. And so the title of my chapter is Take Flight. And what happened is when I turned 45 years old, coming up on my 45th birthday, I woke up one morning and I told my husband, I said, I want to take an airplane flight. And he looked at me like, what? You want to do what? Because everybody knows that was the biggest fear that I ever had. But at the same time, I have been praying to God to enlarge my territory. I have been praying to God and asking him, open doors for me that I can't open and close the ones that I can't shut. So I was continuously, sending up these prayers. And that morning I woke up, it was just an overwhelming feeling. You've got to get on an airplane. And it kind of scared me because, like I said, that's something that I would never do. And I just told my husband, I said, we got to take a flight. And I said, I'm going to find the shortest one I can find because I don't know what to expect, but I'm going to do this. And so I booked a flight to Houston, Texas for my 45th birthday. And can I tell you that I kicked myself because I was scared of flying? When I got on that plane, it was just like I was supposed to be there. There was no fear. I was not scared. Everything went perfectly, going and coming. And after I got off that plane, coming back home, I was like, oh, Ketrice, you took a flight. There's nothing else that you can't do. You can do everything else. And so from there, I ended up at the Success Conference the next year in September, met Dawn. She helped me write my story. In November, I founded Ketrices Enterprises. And then the next year, I quit my job as a registered nurse, which is this year. I quit my job as a registered nurse for 20 years. Wow. I just walked away from it, and I am pursuing entrepreneurship full time. And so after taking that flight, I was like, there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing that you can put your hands to that you cannot do, because God enabled me to come up against the biggest fear that I had in my life. So what else? What can stop me now? Only I can stop me. So that's basically what my chapter talks about. It's just talking about facing your fear. Whatever the biggest fear is that you have, it's not going to kill you. You may think you're going to die. You're going to come out of it. And when you come out of it, then, hey, you just take off like a rocket and you don't let anything stop you. Fear cannot stop you. Fear is a liar. And so that's basically what my chapter talks about.
I like that. Fear is a liar. Say it again. Fear is a liar.
Fear is a liar. It is. Mm-hmm. Fear is a liar. And it stops a lot of people from doing some amazing things that not only helps them, but helps other people as well. Do you know how many people I've impacted just by taking an airplane flight?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? just facing that fear. And they're like, girl, you said you were never going to do that. And then the killer part is, after I took the flight, then we get into this year, and I'm ready to fly, y'all. I'm to get my passport, and then we have COVID, and everything shuts down. I'm sorry, I haven't taken that next flight, but as soon as I'm able to, I will be taking that next flight.
Yes. Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's a story. That's for sure. And it just goes to show that, the biggest thing that we don't even know what's going to happen, but we see it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And just the whole idea of you being able to take that flight opened up all of these different doors for you.
Yes.
One thing you was afraid of.
That is so funny to me. It really tickles me now that I look back over and I'm like, girl, you could have been so far, you could have been so much farther than you are now, but God always, gives me that little nudge. He said, no, you're right where I want you at,
That's right.
That's right. We're ready to be ready. And then finally we're ready. And like you said, you just woke up with that thought that, oh, I'm going to do this.
Oh, yes. Yes. And so now when something comes my way, an opportunity comes my way, it's like, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. I'm always, looking for some type of opportunity, because it's not about me. it's about that one person I may reach with my story, and then they may realize, hey, if she can do it, so can I. You know, that's what it's really about. That's what it's really about.
That is what it's about. So tell us about your organization.
Okay, Ketrices Enterprises LLC incorporates my motivational speaking, my evangelism, me being an author, as well as a certified life coach. And I hone in on women that are just like me, stuck in fear, that that are scared, and they have these limiting mindsets that say, I can't do that. I don't have enough money to do that, or I didn't come from the right family. I can't, I just don't have the stuff to do that. And my focus is empowering them to let them know, yes, you can. There's nothing that you don't have that God didn't give other people with. The same thing that they have, you have it. You just got to tap into it. God says he's not a respecter of persons. So if she did it, then what you need to do is encircle yourself with people who are doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
You need to find people that are honing in on their gifts and talents, and you need to get in those circles, and you need to figure out what it is that you're good at, what you have a knack for, and let those people help you get to where they are. Oh. Don't let fear shut the door in your face and keep you from being all that God has purposed for you to be in this earth. Because a lot of times, we as women have been so beaten down, and we've been pushed to the back so many times, and it's just like we get that mindset that I just can't do it. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not thick enough, whatever the case may be. But we are exactly what God has formed us and fashioned us to be from the foundation of the world. And that's what I try to instill in women. Yes, you can. And everything that I can find to put my hand to, I do it because I want to show them that if I can do it, you can too. So that's basically what what Ketrices Enterprises is all about, is empowering women to take those leaps, to take those jumps, to take those dives, and not look back. Because the next woman is empowered by what you do. Mm-hmm. You never know. And not only the next woman, the little girls that are coming up behind us, they need to see us doing those things. They need to say, oh, I watched her when I was growing up. And when I get, grown, I want to be just like her. So we need to be able to instill those same things in the little girls that's coming up that look like us. Because if I had somebody like me a long time ago, wow, how much further I could have been. Mm-hmm. So I want to be that person that I didn't have. Mm-hmm. And that's what Ketrices Enterprises is all about.
Wow.
That's very powerful, very powerful. Because like you said, so many women have grown up with a negative self-image.
Right.
And no one to say, you can do this. You can do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
There's something in you special. You're unique.
Right.
And therefore there's something powerful within you. We don't get that message. That's not the message that we're commonly given. And
no, it's not.
And it's very limiting. It limits people. I think we actually cut ourselves off at a young age.
Right.
They say, well, I can go this far and no further.
Uh-huh.
That's not true.
It's not true. Not true at all. And I've experienced it since I quit my job as a nurse. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I nursed for 20 years. And in June 30th of this year was my last day of work. And people were like, even my mom, she's like, what are you going to do? You quit your job? Mm-hmm. How you going to make it? Honey, can I tell you we have not missed a meal since I quit my job? Did I just say that? I mean, when you hone in on what God has purposed for you to do, and when you walk with him and you let him direct your path, I'm not worried about what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what he tells me to do. I'm going to step where he tells me to step. I'm going to accept the things that he tells me to accept. And then I'm not worried about the other.
Mm.
I can't. It was just like, I had been in nursing so long, and healthcare has changed so much from when I started 20 years ago. I was really nursing. I was really taking care of people. I was really building relationships with people. But the way healthcare has shifted now, it really has stopped a lot of that hands-on caring for people. And it just became so overwhelming and so despairing when you drive up on your job and you get sick to the stomach.
Yeah, it's time to go.
It's time to go. I mean, I would have been doing my patients a disservice if I had kept doing what I was doing. I'm in there trying to see about them, and I'm not even wanting to be there. So I continuously prayed and asked God to open a door. And he said, daughter, the door is open. And when he said that, I ran out of that open door and ran into the other door.
Wow, that is amazing. So good to hear you say that. So many people do that every Sunday night. If they have a Monday through Friday, they get sick on Monday night.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Those heart attacks happen like Monday night into early, Sunday night into early Monday.
That's exactly.
And yeah, and it's because they hate going to work. You know, they hate their jobs, and they're just forcing themselves.
Yes.
Yet,
Right.
what you're saying is that if that's the way you feel, then it's time to step back, let go, and let God.
Yes.
That's right. That's
and
exactly
say,
right.
okay, well, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Right. And that was the thing. I
Trust
didn't have
God.
a plan. That's right. I didn't have a plan A, B, and C.
Mhm.
All I know is I was getting out of there. I knew in November, you know, like I said, I launched Ketrices Enterprises in November, but I had no idea that in June I would be leaving my job and just going into full-time entrepreneurship. I had no idea that's what I would be doing. I just knew I had to leave that job.
Right.
And then after launching the Ketrices Enterprises, then here comes K Majestic Couture online boutique. I opened that up. And of course, it is slow starting out, but I know what I heard God say. So it doesn't matter to me how slow it is starting out. I know what the end result is going to be. And if I could have managed a 20-year nursing career, running their business for them, why in God's name can't I run my own business?
Amen to that. Amen to that.
No, that's right.
What would stop me from running my own business?
Right, exactly. So if people want to connect with you, how do they do so?
Okay, my website for Ketrices Enterprises is ketriceskeys.com. And then the K Majestic Couture is kmajesticcouture.com. It's the online boutique. And if you want to get in touch with me by email, it's ketrice@ketricekeys.com. I'm also on Facebook, and my personal page is Ketrice Keys. I have K Majestic Couture business page as well. I also have a Spitting Fire with Ketrice podcast that I launched at the end of July, and I have a page for that on Facebook as well. Getting ready to let it have its own sitting website on that podcast. I just empower people by the word of God to just be everything they can be in God. So I'm doing that. I have a private group on Facebook as well for Spitting Fire with Ketrice podcast. And people can join there if they like to join there. And I just spit the word of God. I just spit the fire. You know, fire is a purifier. I spit the fire to cleanse. And then I spit the fire to bring the people back in after they've been cleansed. That's what I do on Spitting Fire with Ketrice.
Okay.
I heard that. You're just busy.
I'm also on Instagram as well, and that's Ketrice Keys 2000, K Majestic Couture Boutique, and and Twitter as well at Ketrice Keys. So if anybody wants to reach out, that's how they can get in touch with me.
All righty. Wow. Girl, won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. And I tell people that all the time. He will do it. And it's marvelous in our eyes when he gets done doing it and you're sitting there looking and you're like, God, you're so awesome. I would have never thought that you would have worked it out like this.
Right.
Look what I've done. I've even, I have a 14-year-old daughter, and she's become my photographer.
Okay.
She's my photographer. She does all my pictures. She we bought the setup and she's just into it. I mean, she and this camera like melded together. So I'm empowering her to tap into some talents that we didn't even know she had.
Right.
That's it.
So
That's
I mean,
fabulous.
it's awesome how things are coming together and working out.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. And
That's
purpose
awesome.
is contagious. When you're
Yes,
around
it is.
people that are moving in their purpose and doing a darn thing, it just rubs off. It just rubs off.
It does. It really does. And I have to give a shout out to Dawn Leak because she is such an empowerer. She sees things in people and she don't stop till she get it out you.
I know.
She grabs a hold of you and she's like, girl, you could do this. Girl, you got this. And I'm looking at her like, do you see the circles you moving in? And she's like, yeah, but before I moved in those circles, I was just like you. So if I can do it, so can you.
Right.
And so, it behooves us to have those type of people in our lives.
Yes.
And then if you have the people that don't want to catch on, and because I have those people too that are now looking at me like, who do you think you are?
Oh, yeah.
Well, those are not your people. They never were your people.
That's right.
So then you gotta move on from those people. You gotta
I just like bless them and send them on their
right.
back.
Right.
Send them on their way.
I think it's such a big point because I think it's just relatively new, all things being equal, that people have started talking about finding your tribe, finding your own
Right.
people. Because most of the time we're sort of like fish in this great big pond, and we're just
Right.
swimming around with whoever happens to be in our environment.
Exactly.
But that's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to actively look for people that we're at least have some level of understanding with. We're kind of like, it used to be said that they used to make fun of artists, that all artists would be together in Greenwich Village, or certain areas that they would be in of New York or Los Angeles,
Right.
or Paris. That was sort of the thinking, but they were absolutely right.
Right.
Not that they all had fabulous, fantastic lives, but they were with people who understood what it is that they wanted to do. And if you don't have people around you like that, you're not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
Absolutely true. Absolutely.
Yes. So you definitely have to have people in your space that understand the journey.
Exactly.
Because
Right.
they accept you for who you are.
Yes.
If you're a writer, then they accept you as a writer. If you're a dancer, they accept you as a dancer. And there's a camaraderie and a feeling of, well, at least I can talk to somebody about my art. At least I can talk to somebody about my business.
Right.
I'm not talking to somebody who has been working for somebody for the last 40 years and they just don't understand why I would want to have my own business.
Right.
Right.
The language isn't even the same. You're not talking the same language.
Not even the same. And what I have found too is that, you have so many people, they'll say, well, I don't want to work all of my life. I want to do something different. And then when you present them with the opportunity, they're like, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep my job. And I consistently say, well, what happens if your job fires you? What are you going to do?
Yes.
And I just tell them, I fired my job before they fired me.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
There you go.
I fired my job.
Fire them first.
I
Especially if you can't come there every day.
You don't ever, you can't bank on that. So I even give them the option. If you don't want to quit your job, find you something to do on the side.
Right.
Find you something, just to make some extra income. You need multiple streams of income. In the society and the time that we're living in, you can't depend on a job, a 9 to 5. You can't depend on it. Things are too shaky.
Yes.
Things are too shaky. And this environment that we're in now is conducive for business. It's conducive for people to launch out and do something for themselves. So, why not jump out there and do it now? So what if it don't work? How many times have you already done something that didn't work? You didn't die. You get up and you try something else.
Right, exactly. And a lot of times when it doesn't work in the beginning, it's just a matter of tweaking.
What, that's my passion. Okay. My passion is getting women on this bandwagon. I mean, the environment we're living in today is conducive for us to do amazing things.
Yes, and if we all work together and hold each other up, hold each other accountable, we're going to get there.
We're going to get there. Exactly. And we're going to leave our mark in this earth, and people will be talking. If it's just one person, I tell all the people all the time, if it's just one person that talks about what I did to help them, then I have accomplished my mission.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I've accomplished my mission.
Wow. We're going to have you back, Miss Keys. I ain't going to mess up Ketrice, correct? Did I say it?
Ketrice.
It's okay. I've been called all kinds of things. A whole lot worse than Ketrice.
Okay.
Oh, I just love you. I love your spirit. So again, how do people get in contact with you?
Okay. My website for Ketrices Keys Enterprises is ketriceskeys.com. And then I have K Majestic Couture online boutique. That's kmajesticcouture.com. And then I have my personal Facebook page, which is Ketrices Keys. I also have business pages for both my businesses, which is K Majestic Couture Boutique and Ketrices Keys Enterprises. I also have a page for Spitting Fire with Ketrice podcast. I have my private group for Spitting Fire with Ketrice podcast. I am on Instagram at Ketrices Keys 2000, as well as K Majestic Couture Boutique. And I'm also on Twitter at Ketrices Keys. My email is ketrice@ketriceskeys.com. So you can reach out to me on any of those platforms, and I'll be glad to assist and help and, encourage, do whatever it is I need to do, to get the people where they need to be. But those are my platforms.
Oh, wow. So just remember, Ketrice Keys.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, remember. I tell people all the time, don't sleep on me. Don't sleep on me. You're going to wish you had not slept on me. No. Because after taking that flight, I'm not stopping.
Wow. Well,
yes.
I'm so happy that you said yes, and we definitely want to have you back because your energy is fire.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I enjoyed it. I had to come back anytime.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ketrice.
Thank you all for having me. I have enjoyed. Thank you so much. Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.